And I want everybody to really believe that they can create wealth in their life, not just money, but wealth, that vitality, that aliveness, that feeling of freedom and flow. I want everybody to believe that that's what they can truly create in their life. And I desire for everybody to experience that.
Welcome to Inspired Choice today. I'm your host, Caroline Biesalski, here to bring you authentic stories, surprising lessons, and powerful takeaways to fuel your journey in business and life. In each episode, I'll take you from one inspiring guest to the next, blending their experiences with my expertise to uncover practical strategies you can use right away. Whether you're starting out or stepping up, stay tuned for insights and actionable tips that make a difference. And stick around until the end for a special freebie just for our listeners. Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline and my today's guest is Alara Sage. And I'm so happy that she said yes to our interview. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, Caroline. Thank you.
Wow, so great to see you. Thank you so much again. And I would love to introduce you to the audience, of course. So you are a wealth embodiment mentor and host of the Wealth Embodied podcast, where you help change makers unlock their wealth consciousness, creative genius, and visionary potential. Known for your intuitive and soulful approach, you guide clients to fully embrace their potential. Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Alara.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, me too. And my first question is, what inspired you to focus on wealth embodiment, and how did this journey begin for you?
Yeah. So I actually, in 2020, I was running my business that I have now, and it was a six-figure business. And I was doing well and I had money. And then all of a sudden, my money was stolen. All of it was stolen. And my higher self had told me that this was going to happen. It was a karmic debt that I needed to clear. But that didn't make it necessarily any easier when all of your money is stolen. I, went through this initial feeling of fear and I shifted that energy. And then I said to myself, you know what? I always have this ability to create my reality. I'll just create it all back again. However, as I went through the process that I used to create my reality, instead of recreating my wealth initially, my six-figure business collapsed and I went into the red and I went into debt for the first time in my life. And so it was a spiritual initiation. It was an awakening. And what happened through that process is I was really taken deep into very core belief structures in humanity around power, money, and sex. And they're all actually the same. And I had to release a lot of deep energy in my ancestral line that I carried from other lives to be able to really truly embody what I call the frequency of wealth. Before, even though I had money, I wasn't actually holding that frequency of wealth. I didn't fundamentally really feel safe and secure with money. Underneath the appearance of my success was insecurity and inadequacy. So this really brought all of that straight to my face. And after working through it, I was able to recreate my wealth. And I just felt very passionate about helping others do the same.
Yes, I understand, and for me, what I take away from your answer is this initial spiritual initiation. You said this, and I never heard this before, but of course, so I mean, in this context, right? Losing all the money, the business closes, or something like that. That you see it that way. It's really
Correct.
interesting. Thank you for sharing. And also about the frequencies, we can talk about that later, of course, I hope. My next question is, Yeah, was there a pivotal moment of change in your life that reshaped your approach to helping others unlock their potential? And you already mentioned this, right?
Yes, that was definitely the pivotal point for me.
That was the point. And yeah, you talked about the frequencies. You embody also the frequencies. Can I say this? And you mentioned that it is all the same: wealth, money, and sex. You mentioned, right?
Correct.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So through this process, what I learned is humanity has three primary wounds, and that is the wound of power, the wound of sexual energy, and the wound of money. And the truth is that all of that is our creative life force energy, that through which we create our reality. We use our personal power to create our reality. We use our sexual energy to create our reality. And of course, money is simply an amplifier. It allows you a currency through which to create your reality. So, by understanding these core wounds, anybody can really unlock a great deal of themselves, because this goes beyond just this life. These wounds are many, many generations long.
Yes, wow, it's so amazing. And you are talking, you are on the surface right now of your expertise here, what you teach people, because it is, yeah, we cannot talk about this, right? You are the embodiment coach, and you have to embody it. Then you tell the other, so you show them how it works, and then all it takes is practice, 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 right?
Yes, absolutely.
So great. Thank you so much for sharing. This reminds me of an interview, a very early interview, episode 33 I had. It was similar to this situation. So thank you so much. My next question is, from your experience, what core principles do you believe are essential for achieving lasting success and true wealth embodiment?
I believe that first and foremost, we have to feel safe. We have to feel safe in our personal power, which is not something that most people do. In our society, the representations of power that we've had are actually what I deem force, right? They are forcing onto others. They are taking from other people. That it's not true power, the power of love, the power of connection, the true power that humanity holds. So the ability to feel safe in your power, to express your power, the ability to feel safe in your sexual energy, right? The ability to feel safe with money, either with lots of money or with no money, and that fundamental sense of safety, it's what grounds us into the moment and really allows us to be fully present to everything that it's occurring right here, right now, to really hear our inner guidance, our inner knowing, instead of be caught up in our fears and our worries, and allow those emotions to dictate our action. So a sense of freedom, excuse me, a sense of safety is something that I help my clients to experience and achieve. And the amount of peace that exudes from that state. Now you are moving through life very intentional. You're moving through life with clarity and precision. And just that simple process has transformed my clients' abilities to really show up for themselves and really create that life that they desire.
Wow, that's so powerful what you said. And yeah, I use this word power because, yeah, and you said people are not aware of their own power. That's so true. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I'm on a thought trip right now, and at the same time, in the present moment, it's so important what you just shared. Yes. Wow, I feel it. I feel there's the cat. I take a moment to let the cat out. Excuse me, and then I will know our next question. It's also tapping into intuition, right? And then feel it, the frequency. Then being on the same frequency wavelength. Then we talked about embodiment. You cannot describe, or how do you do this when you work with clients, and how do you describe how they have to act or embody it, the frequency they want, for example?
So it's really about understanding who you want to become within yourself. And it's about connecting to that version of you because that version of you exists in what's called the quantum field. So, for instance, I like to use numbers because it's very easy for people to understand. Let's say you're making $3,000 a month and you really want to be making $10,000 a month. You can connect into your heart, breathe into your body, drop your awareness down into your heart, and you can connect to the version of you that is creating life at $10,000 a month. And this version of you will have different habits, different patterns, different behaviors. This version of you will show up differently. So, as we connect to the version of us that we want to become, the first thing that happens is we activate ourselves in that vibration. And everything in our reality is vibration. So, you literally activate your body in the vibration of what you're trying to create. And secondly, you become aware of this version of you. How does he, she, they act? What habits, patterns, beliefs do I need to start doing now to become that version of myself? And what habits, patterns do I need to let go of, stop doing? And so you start to take on a new persona. You start to act differently. And those are the things that are the embodiment of that version of you. You become from the inside out a new version of you.
Wow, that's so powerful what you said. I imagine how you do this exercise, and I had the tendency to ask, how many times do you have to do this? But of course, if you embody this, you are that person already. So I ask, what do you do in order to maintain that frequency? Because I think many people, if they are not trained, they fall back into the old patterns or the old frequency.
Yes. So it's about continuously connecting to that version of you. And it is about making sure that your actions are from that version of you. You are not taking action from the old version of you. And simultaneously, the one aspect that I feel a lot of people miss in this kinds of manifestations, law of attraction, this type of teaching, is that you also have to teach yourself how to receive, perceive, experience your reality as the new version of you. Because there's always going to be a time gap as you start to create this new life that your physical reality fully reflects 100% that desired state. And in between that stage, your reality is going to reflect some old version of you, a mix between the old and the new. And how you perceive those experiences is where your power lies. If you are perceiving those experiences from the version of you that you are becoming, then you are continuing to create and alchemize your reality as such.
I understand it's not coming overnight. It has this, I would call it, gestation period as well, or some of the coaches call it that way. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I think I have a better insight now about what to do. And now I remember what I wanted to say after you answered the second question. It was the book you mentioned. I want to mention, no, it was not a book, but it is a book, Power versus Force by David R. Hawkins. I wanted to mention the author because I'm a big fan of his. He has this, I think, level of consciousness as well, is the English title. Yes. Thank you so much. I love frequencies and working with frequencies, and yeah, when the old patterns mix with the new ones, then you sometimes you don't have a clue which perspective to take on. You are confused. But what you gave as advice is so clear. It's about you stay in that frequency and you focus, I would say, from the person you want to become, right? Not on is separate, is away from, is the confession that you are not yet. So it's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And let's talk about your coaches and mentors. Do you have coaches and mentors for yourself? And who was the best coach you ever had?
Yes, I'm not constantly working with mentors, but I do work with mentors. I love mentors. I believe that mentors assist all of us, to become better versions of ourselves. And I always say that, even the best athletes have coaches, right? Because we need to we need to be able to see things that we can't see and have that support. One of my favorite business coaches, his name is Scott Olford, and he has a similar story where he went $1 million into debt and was able to shift out of that and also become aware of the things that he was holding on to, and now he's a multimillionaire. Um, and so just his story is very inspiring, and he's a wonderful business coach.
Wow, thank you so much for mentioning. And also, I was thinking about, of course, you talked about your wealth or your financial situation when it all started, right? And then you used this technique and what is your situation right now, if I may ask? Because you turned it around, right? And now you teach your clients how to do this. So this method works, right?
Yes, yes. Now my situation is completely different because I recreated the wealth that I already had, but it's on a completely different foundation. So the way that I approach money, the way that I approach my business, the way that I approach everything that has to do with wealth is from a completely different state of being. I feel really safe. I launch programs, I launch events, I play a lot in my business, and none of it matters what the end result is. I'm really here to express my own aliveness, my own creative life force energy. But because I embody wealth, it's successful. But I'm not attached to the outcomes. I'm not attached to any of it. I'm just simply in the creative flow and the aliveness of my life. And wealth is because I embody the frequency of it.
Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you for sharing. And my next question is about your goals and your next projects. Do you set goals, or because this is from the left brain, the goal thinking logical or whatever, or and what is one of your next projects?
Yeah, I love goals actually. What I do is I ask my heart, what is my next creative process? What is my next intention? What is my next deep soul desire to create? And then from what I hear from my heart, from my higher self, that's where I start to kind of go backwards and set the goals. But all of my goal setting is intuitive. None of it comes from the logical mind. So it's a very different approach. It's much more magical than the logical mind, and actually much more successful than the logical mind. And so my next goal is I have a strong intuitive hit to begin to bring what I teach into corporations. So my next goal is to learn how I can work with corporations, how to market myself, how to take my business into um, B2B is what it's called, business to business, and expand in that area.
Wow, that's great. Thank you. I love what you shared, and I love your podcast as well. Please follow Wealth Embodiment. This was the title, right? I hope I remember the title. And please reach out to Alara. She's amazing and she shares her knowledge and wisdom with us. And I'm so blessed. Okay, I think, yeah, this was our interview already. And now it's time for your final thoughts to the audience, please. And please include where we can find you when we want to reach out to you, of course.
Yes, absolutely. People can find me at alarasage.com, and I'm Alara Sage on all the social media as well. And I have a wonderful masterclass called Quantum Wealth Creation that talks about what we spoke here today, the methods of how to do what I spoke to. So you can have that link as well. And I want everybody to really believe that they can create wealth in their life, not just money, but wealth, that vitality, that aliveness, that feeling of freedom and flow. I want everybody to believe that that's what they can truly create in their life. And I desire for everybody to experience that.
Thank you so much. I'm blessed. Once again, I'm speechless, and I loved our interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
And see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to Inspired Choice today. I'm thrilled to have you on this journey of growth and transformation. Don't forget to hit follow or subscribe to stay connected and never miss an episode. And here's something special. Grab your free 20-minute breakthrough session with me. It's designed to help you kickstart or level up your business. Just check out the show notes for more. Until next time, keep making those inspired choices, and see you in the next episode.